make it 4-4 again on the CT side. They need to pick up every possible round that is left on this half. Otherwise, Dope will look very strong for the second half. And this will be very awkward for the Finnish guys if they keep giving rounds away to the Swedes. Let's see what they are going for. Obviously, Xati's AWP helped them a little bit, but not too much right now. He's sitting at 4 frags and he can definitely do better. On the other side, of course, Caron is doing a great job in the main hut entrance. He's not peeking in there, he's just waiting for the terrorists to show themselves, and they are really doing it. And just as I say he's not peeking into hut, he does it and goes down to a headshot of Lincoln. It's a 4v4 again, and Dope just stay into the game, drawing it back to equal player count. Even though Lincoln is down to 15 HP, he can still get rid of his nades and help his teammates get an additional frag. He's trying to do that with a smoke, and obviously the flash to follow up. Now opening the ramp room are the terrorists, but they're just not pushing in right now. They're waiting for the CTs to reposition themselves. And now Reflex is the next one to peek. A nice flash opens it up for him. AV goes down. And Xati on the outside, he's not doing anything right now. He's just turning around to take down P-Dive. What was that, really? Weird shot and weird situation to be in for Xati and P-Dive. They kind of missed each other completely until P-Dive showed up on the side of Xati. Now Lincoln goes down to Reflex. The CTs are playing it more or less freestyle right now. Reflex just rotated into upper ladder. And it's once again Cleanup Guy left alone with the AWP in his hands. And he's sitting at a very nice spot to save that for the next round. But Refuse win 3 in a row, no, even 4 in a row, and draw back to a 5-4 scoreline after winning the pistol round and actually giving away the second round of the match. They slightly lost the edge on this on the terrorists, but now they are working their way back into the game, and Dope needs to save once again. They were not really too good equipped in the past few rounds, but Cleanup Guy with a hefty shot there onto Sagaton to open up the round. Caron answers back with 2, but P-Dive makes it a 3v3 again. Now Xati goes to work onto AV, makes it a 2v3 situation. Cleanup Guy needs to go huge with the AWP, but he's getting sprayed at already, and he's going for the third peak. Xati obviously gets the better of him in that, and it's now P-Dive behind the bomb site. They were getting the bomb planned and at least got that additional money in the bank, but Xati took out P-Dive. He couldn't defend the planted bomb and refused to make it 6-4. And that AWP shot by Cleanup Guy really scared me for a second. I thought the terrorists will upset the Finns once again, but in the end Refuse recovered. They only lost 2 CT members while they were taking out this echo round. And now Dope lost their AWP. They're going for the 5-man AK buy. They could have went for a different strategy, but they decided to leave the AWP and just rush in with their rifles. And they're going for an outside push. Only one is left in the hut. You can see he's sitting at Squeaky, covering not only Squeaky but also Radio Room, while Reflex now goes to work with the 2K double spray down onto Citinho and Cleanup Guy in the lower stairs. It's a 3v5 situation. Now Linked, he just snuck in, but Caron was taking care of him as well. Now P-Dive with the next frag onto Sagaton. Careless push by the CTs. They just want to finish off that round. They kind of didn't really need to push there to see and gather the information. Like that, they expanded one player, and AV and P-Dive got the opening to the lower bomb site. Refuse, though, knows that both players are down there thanks to Sagaton's suicidal tendencies. And I think Dope wants to plant the bomb, but they shouldn't be able to do it. Refuse is all over the place in the lower bomb site as we've got a brief pause. AV and P-Dive need to go amazingly huge if they want to clutch that round. Hey, Dark Hexa. Will you or can you keep it in English so I can participate in uh, your conversation? That would be so nice of you. But let's stay with the round. Dope is not rushing in there, taking their time. They're smoking it up. They are pushing into window room. They're trying to get the edge on the CTs. P-Dive desperately sprays into the smoke, but not collects any damage at all. AV and him are still checking out the lower bomb site. 11 seconds on the clock. They really need to hurry up. And AV gets a nice headshot onto Reflex, but then goes down to Reviser. P-Dive in the meantime snuck himself into the vents and got himself the frag onto Reviser. But Caron is still there. And he's still waiting for the bomb to be planted. And P-Dive couldn't do that. Refuse. Lose 3. But they stay alive with 2 and win the round. 7-4 now for the CTs. Winning 6 rounds in a row means that Dope has a massive loser bonus, and even though they couldn't plant the bomb in the last round, they had quite a few plans so far, and this obviously helps them in getting back on the economy. As you can see, they still have money left, and they have bought up everything. And Caron once again finishes off Cleanup Guy, who was trying to push through the flames in the main hut. Caron now once again with a nice push there into hut, takes out Citinho, and it's all up to Caron right now. He's taken out 2 terrorists already. P-Dive tries to get back into the match with a 2k spray down. Reviser though makes it a 2v1 again, and it's P-Dive against 2 CTs, and he needs the 4k if he wants to clutch that round. Reviser though pushes out of upper ladder and gets the frag with the auto scope. No chance for P-Dive in this situation. But Dope once again in mid round, they were almost getting back into the round. Refuse so close to losing the edge. I just don't see Refuse pick up the last 3 rounds. I think Dope will get 1 or maybe even 2 in there. In this first half here on Nuke, Caron and Sagaton though prove me wrong. They take out Cleanup Guy and Citinho to start off the round. AV and P-Dive once again trying to fight back, but Caron is just too massive in the A-bomb side. He gets covered by his teammates as well, and then he picks up 4 frags. Just as easy as that. No problem for the Finn. And Refuse make it 9-4 against their Swedish counterparts. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. 20 frags for Caron, 10 for Reflex, and only 13 for P-Dive, 8 for Cleanup Guy and Lincoln. Reviser just keeps holding the button, spraying them down. P-Dive and Citinho go down in the save round by the terrorists. Reviser gets another frag off there onto AV. And it's only Cleanup Guy and Lincoln left standing for the terrorists. Once again, Cleanup Guy captured himself the AWP. And Lincoln with a headshot onto Sagaton in main area. He gets a frag off. Cleanup Guy catches a nade, but he now knows that there's 1 CT at the back of the A bomb site. He's just waiting for the backstabber. He's not showing himself right now. Dope is still working on this round. They are still trying to get as much out of that as possible. Cleanup Guy will now check out the A bomb site, and he caught a glimpse of Caron, I think it is, in the back of the A bomb site there. Now the flash comes out, and Caron will probably go for the peek. No, Reviser comes around the corner. Reflex takes out Lincoln at the same time, and Refuse prepared that greatly and closed out the round in a 3v2 situation. Dope with an AWP in their hands. They stood a chance of coming back into the round. Just 2 quick shots and you're back in a 2v1 situation. But in the end, Refuse knew where Dope was, and they got themselves into very good positions to close them out. It is the last round though of the first half here on Nuke between Refuse and Dope. It is the winner bracket final of this ESEA Open season. And at the moment Refuse won 9 rounds in a row. And Dope couldn't get back from that. Now the terrorists have sent their AWP player in the form of Lincoln into the spawn, but Xati took him out really quickly. Lincoln was aiming for Xati quite a while and couldn't finish him off. He was just trying for the perfect moment. Xati though, he wasn't standing still a single moment. So Lincoln refused to give away his position, and in the end Xati grabbed the action and turned around to shoot the Swede in his face. It's a 4v5 situation now. Dope is pushing into the lower bomb site. There are 1 CT waiting. Reviser with the autoscope. He takes out AV. And he needs to take out even more. He's firing away but not collecting any damage. P-dive and cleanup guy clean up the bomb site and make it a 3v3 again. P-dive now goes for the plant. His teammate gets killed, but Citinho covers him with a refrag and makes it a 2v2 again. Sagaton goes down. Xati, Caron against P-dive and Citinho, and Caron just doesn't need his teammate at all. He takes out both of the remaining terrorists and makes it 11-4 with the defuse. And Dope had a very good start into the first half by winning the second round, but then they kind of lost their edge and they couldn't come back from that anymore. So Refuse managed to win 10 rounds in a row. You can see it right there. And in the end made it a more or less equal or expected halftime score on the Nuke very CT based map. You would expect something like 10-5 or 11-4 like we have right now. So we are back with a second pistol round here, the second half starting between Dope and Refuse. And Dope need to win that pistol round. If they give it away and Refuse manages to pick up the 2 or 3 conversion rounds, it would look very bad for the Swedes of Dope. So let's see what they are up to, and let's see what Refuse has in mind to keep the CTs from winning that round and make that game close in a few more minutes. Refuse has it all to do, and they're going for an A push. Citinho is the first to oppose them. He has very big problems against Caron. He still gets a frag in the end, but a very quick frag exchange happens. It's a 2v2 and now a 1v1 thanks to a refrag by Sagaton and Lincoln. Lincoln, the CT, Xati the terrorist. Xati puts down the bomb. He already spotted Lincoln. Now they're dancing around behind that bomb site. Xati is still dancing around, and now he's running into Lincoln, who takes him out with a nice headshot. And Xati couldn't burn enough time by the CT, off the CT. Lincoln is still able to get the bomb defused. And Dope are happy to have Lincoln in their lineup with a 2k in the pistol round. He managed to win it and make it 5-11 for the terrorists still. But at least the CTs have won the first round and they are going for a really weird buy. A Max 7 in the hands of Lincoln, 2 FAMASes and 1 M4 A1 in the hands of AV. And Refuse with a very mixed buy as well. They have Glock, P250, a CZ75 and a 5.7 in there. And Lincoln with that Max 7, he takes out Reviser to open up the round. It's a 4v5 and the terrorists are already down a man. Reflex is the one to take point and see where the CTs are at. Citinho takes out Xati, Sagaton with a refrag. AV though takes him out in turn. And it's a 2v4 again. Lincoln with the Max 7 still pushing like a madman, and he gets himself the frag onto Reflex. Caron now sitting in hut. waiting for a CT to show himself with a P250. He sprays away, but AV on rafters takes him out, and it's a 11-6 scoreline in favor of Refuse. But the CTs are slowly getting back into the